Hello friends, welcome back to Nguru. In today's class, we are going to look at the generations of computers and the types of computers. So, broadly, there are 5 generations when it comes to the computers. The classification is based on the electronic component that has been used to produce the component for the circuit that is built, right, for the computer. In the first generation, we have vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes were used in the first generation. They used to take entire room, kind of, right. It also takes the electricity, more of electricity, right. We have seen ENIAC and NVAC are built using the vacuum tubes. Those computers were built using vacuum tubes. So in the first generation, the main component is the vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes were used to build the system. And when it comes to the year, it is from 1945 to 1955. The first generation computers lies under this period, 1945 to 1955. If we look at the characteristics of the first generation computers, the major component used to build the system was vacuum tubes, and the language used is assembly language. Then the I/O devices, so punch cards were used to give the job, right? When it comes to speed, it is very slow. As we know, it's very slow and very large. It used to occupy entire room, right? Some of the examples of ENIAC, EDVAC, IDSAC, UNIVAC, all these. So these are some of the bits. Take the screenshot. You may get at least one question I am expecting. So ENIAC is nothing but electronic numerical integrator and computer. IDSAC is something called electronic delay storage automatic calculator. And EDVAC, electronic discrete variable automatic computer. So IDSAC, it is automatic calculator. Yeah. Electronic delay storage automatic calculator. Similarly, UNIVAC, UNIVAC, universal automatic computer. Then comes the second generation. In the second generation, in the place of vacuum tubes, transistors were used, and the period where the second generation computers exist was 1955 to 1965 around. So transistors were used, as I said, instead of vacuum tubes. So the vacuum tubes, as we see, it used to take a large, it was very bulky and it used to occupy entire rooms, and at the same time it used to take huge electricity. For the same reason, it used to produce heat very much, right? They were bulky, and the reliability, when it comes to reliability, the first generation computers, what I am talking about, so are not so reliable when compared to the transistors. Yeah. So the characteristics of second generation computer. So the component used was transistors, and by this time we have certain high level languages were in place like Fortran, COBOL, all that. Still the punch cards were used to give the job, right? Speed is little definitely they are better than the first generation vacuum tubes, and the size has been reduced when compared to the second generation. Some of the examples like IBM 7030, Honeywell 400. When it comes to the third generation computers, the component used was integrated circuits. The period is around 1965 to 75. So the technology, as I said, integrated circuit was used to build the system. It was little smaller. Now it has been, the size has been reduced. If you can see, the very small computers have come into picture when it comes to the size, right? All these are smaller. So the third generation ends with the microprocessor technology come into picture. There it ends, and the fourth generation has started. Characteristics of third generation computers. Integrated circuits were used for small scale integration, medium scale integration technology, that is IC, integrated circuit technology. And programming languages, high level languages were there. So IO devices, instead of punch cards, we have now got monitor, keyboard, printer, other things. Speed definitely faster, and it has become smaller, we have seen. Some of the examples like System 360, mainframe, PDP-8, all these are some of the examples for the third generation computer. Again, when it comes to the fourth generation computer, the most important thing is the microprocessors have come into picture. Microprocessors, we are using microprocessor today now also. From the period 1975 to 89, you can say till date still we are using the microprocessor, but the technology used starting from 1975 onwards. So fourth generation started with the microprocessor. A single large scale integrated a single circuit has got many transistors, right? That is a VLSI, that is a very large scale integration circuits have built, and if you can think like around 5,000 transistors can be placed on a single integrated circuit, right? And the size has become very, very small, and you can expect a bit on this also. Intel 4004 is the 4-bit CPU released by Intel Corporation in the year 1971. It was the first commercially built system using the commercially built CPU using the microprocessor technology. Intel 4004 is the first microprocessor that is available commercially. So characteristics of the fourth generation computers. Microprocessors were used. High level languages like C, C++, others were in picture. Speed is definitely very faster, right? The size has been reduced to very small, and some of the examples include Intel 8088, Motorola 68000 series, all that are some of the examples for fourth generation computers. Yeah, fifth generation computers from roughly in 1989 to present days, we call it as fifth generation computers. Here we are using, the technology has been used here is ultra large scale integration technology, where millions of transistors, you can think about millions of transistors were placed in a single microchip. The technology has advanced in such a way that we could able to keep millions of transistors in a single microchip. What is the advantage? Enormous speed. That's what is extensive parallel processing. Multiple pipelines, multi-processors have come into picture, quantum mechanism, artificial intelligence, and the nanotechnologies were made available, which revolutionized the computing power of the systems. Some of the examples include IBM notebooks, Pentium PCs and all that. So, we are currently in fifth generation. So, characteristics: ultra large scale integration, parallel processing, the programming language is now natural language processing, like human language. When we are, the system is able to understand our language. So instructions were given using the natural language. So we have touch screens, trackpads, speech recognitions, all that. I/O is used, very portable. We could take anywhere such a system. So they are very small, like examples, laptops, tablets, smartphones, all these we are using these days, right? These are some of the examples for the fifth generation computer.